Namaste everyone. Welcome to our Interfaith Dialogue. Today's our subject is discussion on symbolism. Our guest speaker is Reverend Dr. T.K. Nakagaki. He is the president of the Heiwa Peace and Reconciliation Foundation of New York and is hardworking interfaith leader in New York and abroad. TK, Reverend Dr. TK, floor is for you. Give some introduction, then we'll have a discussion group, question answer section.
Oh, okay. So, all right. Well, thank you very much for inviting me also, and also kind of co-working together many different programs, especially interfaith world. It's I really appreciate your contribution to and then helping me in many ways to have this kind of dialogue. And I think we are working all together for the peace, and then sometimes we need to have a little more talks and then the understanding. I think a mutual understanding, I believe it's a key. And sometimes misunderstand whatever action they do, because even like I remember even in Japan, like we normally take off the shoes when you go into the house or something. And then sometimes when one time I invited my friend to come to from the United States, and then when they did was they didn't take off the shoes and it came to my house, and I mean, just kind of in one way you can say that's a very rude, but at the same time, if they don't know the culture and understanding, then that creates all those actions. So-called rude might be, it could be just don't know the rule. And so in one way, bringing understanding for anything. And so the dialogue like this, I believe, is a very important one. And so I think that's the part of the key for kind of, in a way, it's education in one way. And sometimes nowadays it seems like everything we know, but sometimes we don't know much either. And so, well, I've been talking sometimes about those swastika symbol for a while now. So I guess people are sort of get used to. But then maybe today I thought it would be good to talk a little bit about simply what is a symbol, start from the symbolism, because people try to express the things. Even like I wanted to know your symbol, like when you create the symbol, like a yoga, the community, world yoga community symbol, you have a certain way to bring it, right? So I hope I can ask you now or later, whichever, because even I was thinking of when I started the Heiwa Foundation, what kind of symbol, or the logo, so-called logo is like a symbol too in one way. Then what kind of symbol shall I make? And I believe any organization, I think when they start, it seems like, we want to have some symbols to create what represent, what we are doing. And so in a way, the symbolism should be understood that way from the other side, so before you just see all the different design and everything, it's not just the design, right? For the side of the organization, probably when you look at this symbol, I want them to think this way or that way, like those. So even like I've never really explained about my Heiwa Foundation symbol. So maybe I thought this is a good time to explain a little bit also. And I hope you can share your, the symbols and then the different ways.
I want to mention like a few minutes.
Okay.
So Value Yoga community, we have few symbols. Usually this is a symbol, I put it here. We use for most of the thing. I'm not totally happy about the symbol.
Okay.
Because I want a wider range, but I need a computer person to work with me, So I don't, another thing is I don't want to promote all the religions, because we have to think about beyond the religion. And somehow somebody sent me a interfaith logo. Then I put our logo on top of it and put the spikes around with the UN agenda. So that show more inclusive. We may miss some symbols there. And when you put the UN, then that will cover everything. But I had to make another logo in near future, very fast, So I am just preparing something without religious group, and one with all the religious group. So for the interfaith, good to have all the religious group.
Right.
But all the major work, we don't want to bring all the religious conflicts there, you know. And then with the symbol, the conflict is already starting, you know. We have to make more natural way of living.
Right. Yeah, that's true. But then still, you wanted to have something to get
correct.
some kind of understanding.
A lot of places, I cannot just put my photo everywhere. That's not appropriate, you know. Some events fine. So some events not good.
Yeah, because it's the same thing. I mean, like, you know, even talking about the swastika symbol itself. So first of all, then maybe of course Eastern swastika has been long ago, you know, so like you never know. We can't ask, you know, who created, how you created, but somehow. But then like Hitler, you know, because I try to compare, then how he decided to create the symbol, you know, that's also kind of interesting from that aspects. Also, what is his intention to create the symbol, you know.
This is my experience when Sami Bua was with Hitler. Sami Bua said he's a very smart ruler and highly educated through reading and experiencing. So one day they were traveling in his car. Hitler is driving the car. He went 300 miles speed. You know, that's exaggerated. So he just nodded on his thigh and said, I didn't give you permission to destroy my life. You had to go slow. I am the person making the decision, Hitler said. Does it matter? I won't care who you are. You had to slow down your car immediately. This is the story.
Okay. So
in Hinduism, actually, Om is a major symbol. That is beyond the Hinduism. And for the cultural way, they made this swastika for the prosperity and peace, love, and all the things. And somebody like that one and misusing, that's a part I never support. Anybody can use the Hindu symbols. That is not for only Hindus, for everybody. Creation itself is for everybody.
Right.
And they misuse it, and we don't want to support that.
So, Guruji, if I may say, first namaste to all. And
Hi,
Guruji, I have some observers over here. One of the new one is a Kal Murat. She's from South America. She's from Argentina. And Simran is from Colorado. She was last time here. And Kamala is from Bellingham, Washington State.
Right. Then I saw Dr. Sujita Valsal and Dr. S.K. Pandey, Imam Shu Pandey. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, see, like this is our symbol too, right? So in a way, your foundation, we just have symbols here, but then you know, I don't know whether you can see now, I guess, right? So the character, you know, of course, that first of all, you know, kind of I'm trying to do a little Hiroshima, Nagasaki parts is, you know, very important part of it too. So some part of the Japanese side of the Heiwa is something that, you know, try to bring the peace. The Heiwa means peace anyway, and then those are, but then the peace normally Hei means flat, so the equal, you know, everything is equal. So we try to treat the people equally, and then each life should be equally respected. So that's one thing. Whether it's whether they consider it's a good person or bad person, it doesn't matter in a way. Whether, you know, maybe even like whoever. So like even like a Hitler's life is whatever things matters too. And then so each or Mother Teresa's life, or the president, whoever's life, my life, your life. It just basically all the life is the kind of equally treated, because that's one thing that start with for that piece too, because so otherwise they will destroy the other's life anyway. And so that's the words. And then wa means also the part of the piece, but then this is a conversational piece, talking each other. So it's like a dialogue piece. So that's the part of the character that, you know, in Japanese words anyway. It's nothing is special, but yet there's a lot of meaningful behind. And so we just wanted to promote the dialogue and treat everybody equally and then respect it. So that's kind of a way to bring the peace too. And sometimes, people never realize what is this little, like a sun. There's a sun or something behind. I don't know. I mean, because actually, only recently some people ask me the questions. What is that things for the characters? I mean, actually, there are 4 people, like 4 people, almost connecting, but not quite connected yet. So it's like all the different world, the 4 directions people come, and then the maybe meeting. So it's like the interface too, right? People coming from all over the different parts of the world, and then comes to the points. So that's the 4 representing for the north, east, west, and south. I mean, did I skip everything? I don't know. So anyway, those 4 direction comes, and but then that create the kind of the like a circle of the earth, and or the planet, or it could be any of the boundless circle, because circle doesn't have a not totally connected. You can see it's a little opening a little by little. So that's what I was thinking also. And then the of course the look like a sun, but that's a lotus flowers. So through the nice part of the lotus itself is of course that's a flowers represent enlightenment in Buddhism, but that's transformation, basically transforming evil into virtue, or so violence into peace or something like that. And so it's always the delusion into enlightenment, more like. So that's so in a way, I thought it was a symbol itself is very interesting from that sense to think. So what is the intentions there, and then how you express the part of the the thinking or thoughts or whatever things you have. I think in a way, we wear the clothes too. I mean, people wear some clothes. That's also symbolism in a way too. Because what kind of clothes you want to wear when you are doing whatever the talks and so forth. Because I'm sure that when we have an interfaith dialogue, we tend to wear the one that's traditional, sort of like robes and so forth. So but that's also kind of representing what their faith and then the, belief represents. So from that sense, I think for me, analyzing the symbol itself is something very interesting. How do they choose this one, but not this one, like that. So I was also thinking of the, when you look at since maybe, I don't know if anybody wanted to share, I think it would be good too, some of the other symbols that I don't know, actually the Sikh symbol, I don't know. I mean, maybe since you share a little bit, so it might be nice to know what that represents really.
Okay. I'll say a few words about that, and then others can join in too. The Sikh symbol is really represents what they call the doctrine of Piri and Miri. What it means is Piri means saintliness, and Miri means socially responsible, like which includes saintliness too. We have a saint soldier concept, in other words, as a way of life, style of life. So what it means is spiritually that one sword represents the sword that we have a responsibility to remember God at all times. The other one is to live within the world and struggle for our living and take part in the life's processes to help advancement of the civilization and good family life. That's the other sword, which is socio-political responsibility.
Oh, okay.
And then they're joined together in the middle, which is called Khanda. The whole symbol also goes with that name. That Khanda or Ad Shakti here too. That Khanda is the one which is used for initiation when the Sikhs are making the final commitments and they go through a sort of initiation ceremony comparable to like perhaps baptismal ceremony in the other religions. And they are making commitment at that time that we will believe in one creator who's creator of all, and we will also be responsible for honest living and at the same time take care of the people who get disabled or needy within our society by sharing the fruits of our earnings. That's the other sword. And they together call khanda, and that's used for initiation. And that's in the middle, the circle represents the creator. The creator with no beginning or end, but we must keep it like the khanda is dipped into in the center to remember in gratitude the creator and keep on doing those our prayers, meditation, as well as living worldly life. That's what is.
That's interesting. Yeah. So, well, thank you for sharing, because it's, it's each different symbol has a all different meaning. That's actually very always nice, because like an artist is a symbolism too, right? They try to do the expressing for their arts and everything. So that's always amazing, the way how people create things. Because I'm going today also, especially, I'm going to talk about a little bit of what's we're going to do, what we are doing for the actually when we have the things that I wanted to have an education for the swastika things. So in a way I have a book written, right? But then so those books, somebody took it, then maybe create the film. So I mean, that's another creating the symbol. I mean, story itself is all kind of symbols in a way. So and one thing I just wanted to tell you the truth is my battery is going to die soon. So I just wanted to play the what do you call it? The things that I wanted to show later, but I wanted to show it now. So that time I can just go pick up the plug. So, my battery is not going to die, but yet, that because this is a film, but about the swastika, how we're going to present. But then that's also the one thing, creation, right? So there's nothing there, but maybe there's a book here. So how you express, what's the points that you wanted to express? I mean, that's a lot of creativities too, I guess, in a sense that when you create films and so forth. So yeah, but then anyhow, and then even find the title itself is a symbol in one way, what you wanted to represent, and all those things. So like a language itself is a symbol from that sense too. We use a symbol to communicate somehow, who agree to this language to speak. I mean, that's amazing in a way. If you start thinking that way, all the symbolism that we use is that we are surrounded by all the symbols. Otherwise, whatever we say, it doesn't make any sense, supposed to be, but we are communicating by the symbols too. So that's a kind of a interesting creation that we have too. So I thought about the symbolism itself as a lot of aspects of the life that we are connected. It's not just a symbol right there, but it's like we are living in the symbols too. So how you interpret the symbol, it makes a big difference. When you look at the one symbol, if you have a certain notion, that's the only way you see the symbol. But if you have a different knowledge and everything, then you start seeing the symbol very differently. So this is the part of the interesting part of this challenges what we're gonna have, bringing the swastika to the the west, from the east to west. And then how do they see? Maybe first they might see also only the hate, hate crime and all those things. But yet, you never know, because of the knowledge that they have or education that they have here is that way. But yet, once you start realizing other cultures, then people see differently. Because if you don't know even other culture, the clothes that we wear, it looks very strange, But once you learn the culture, the taverns and everything, nothing is that strange, in a way. There's a teachings there, the practice there, and then the clothes, everything. So then you learn to feel much more comfortable than just the strange, and then refuse those things. So I think that's the part of the interesting challenges that we also have. And then this time, as I said, I just wanted to show, this is a 2 minutes, so I'll just go get the things in the 2 minutes. And so I hope you can enjoy. This is a part of the film that we are making. Actually, we're doing the crowdfunding right now. So that's why this is also very important, because that, whether this, whatever the contribution makes possible this film going or maybe terminated. So it's actually a very important part of it. So please listen or watch this, and I hope you will see. I hope I know how to share this okay this time. Do you see this?
Okay.
Does it look like?
It's a white.
White.
White? Oh, not
White.
White.
Yes.
Oh.
You have to put the frame on your computer first, then share it. Otherwise, you may share something.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Whiteboard. Okay. So now it's okay. Now it's a black?
Yes.
Okay. Now it's coming up. Okay. So enjoy, but at the same time. Okay. So I'll see you in a minute. But this is about the film. I mean, Manji documentary film. So in a crowdfunding. So there's a parts of the, like a little asking for the commercial. Thank you.
The swastika is one of the most polarizing symbols on the planet. Most people know it as the symbol of Nazis and modern hate groups, but its history goes back much further than that. The swastika was originally a symbol of peace and prosperity for many people, including Buddhists, Hindus, and even pre-World War II America. And for many, it still means peace. For many others, though, its meaning cannot be separated from violence.
Manji is a documentary that aims to bridge the gap. In the film, we follow Buddhist priest Reverend T.K. Nakagaki on his mission to reclaim the swastika. Jumping between New York and Japan, we capture dozens of interviews with religious leaders, academics, politicians, artists, and more, all asking a central question. How can we embrace the swastika as a positive symbol without ignoring the hate, pain, and violence associated with it? What can we do to reconcile viewpoints that seem diametrically opposed but equally valid?
As anti-Semitism increases, so do hate crimes against the Asian American community. It is our hope that by fostering timely conversations between these two groups and others, we can find a way to move forward together.
Filming for Manji was completed earlier this year, and now we need your help to cover the cost of the post-production process that will allow us to finish and release the film.
Funds raised will go towards licensing fees to incorporate much-needed archival and news footage and music, as well as visual and sound editing. Any additional funds raised will be used to help get the film into festivals and promote it after its release. Once the film is complete and released, we plan to share it with schools, interfaith groups, and other organizations to act as an educational tool and conversation starter.
Now more than ever, it's up to each and every one of us to learn about cultures that are different than ours. We hope that Manji inspires much needed empathy and that our viewers come away with a new understanding of something familiar.
For more information, please check out our crowdfunding page on Seed and Spark or follow us on Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah, very quick. I hope you get. So, yeah, now I have my batteries safe now, so I can continue for the computer well.
When I was in high school, my older brother was dating a woman that my sister and I did not like.
What is that?
My dad wasn't a big fan either. One night, for some reason, we thought they were going to come home and announce that they were engaged. My sister asked my dad what we should do if this happened. My dad, Buzz Shawati, then said,
yeah, I think it's because I share from the what do you call it?
YouTube.
YouTube. That's why it just goes straight to the something else. But I hope that I can turn off this one, right?
Yeah, and that is a great endeavor. I like that. It's like it's a really wonderful project.
Oh, I'm glad you enjoy.
Yes, because it's like you say, there's such a negative association with that symbol, and in this world, because it's so important to promote love and peace. This is about also promoting, a different image in the energy and shifting the energy in the world by saying, hey, wait a minute, this is what this symbol means. So I like that.
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad you like it, because this time is also, in a way that the film itself is made by two co-sponsor, co-producer in a way. But it's really the producer is Jewish person, the Adam Weitzman. So he's a producer, and also the Yosuke Kiname. He's a Japanese guy, and he's doing the directing and also the camera work. So it's really like there's both 30s, it's like a young generation that they are going to bring it. So I'm sort of very glad that they are interested in even making this kind of a controversial film in one way. And so I'm, in one way, this is for them. I mean, of course, they have their own way of making their own other film and so forth, but this is the first time for them to get together to make another one film. So I'm hoping that, many people can support this young artist, and as well as the supporting this educational material, So for me, it's a very important things, and so I hope many people can support and see it, because one thing, nice part of the crowdfunding I learned is that through crowdfunding we can tell about the swastika, what is this symbol is about. So people learn as we do, and then so we can reach out more people. So in a way, this process itself, crowdfunding process itself is really like sharing, the idea of what it means, that these symbols. Mm-hmm.
I am curious. You use the word controversial. Why do you use that word?
Well, because swastika used to be taboo in this country, right? So taboo means normally controversial. Because one of the reasons that I know is even actually I wrote the book. I did this study like almost 10 years ago, actually. So now, now after 10 years, finally we start talking about it. But even like a book itself, although my dissertation itself was done at the New York Theological Seminary in 2012, and then book came actually 2018. For Japanese book, it came like 2013. I translated English. I wrote in English first anyway. I translated into Japanese and then published. That was very quick, because in Japan East, there's no problem, nothing controversial about the swastika symbol, because that's the symbol of the temple, Buddhist temples or spiritual things, and then they have a clear distinction between swastika and versus Hakenkreuz, which is the Hitler's cross. So those two are separate things totally. And then the majority of the things for the people know about this swastika is a good symbol and the temple symbol. That's a common sense, but then common sense here is opposite, right? The swastika itself is a bad thing or evil thing. That's a common sense. So that's why it makes a totally different view. And then how can it be possible, to really even understanding? But then here it's only one word. Swastika has both cases, the good symbol, bad symbol. So how can it be possible to use that one, even like one words to express? And but in the, this is something strange, but Hitler never used a swastika anyway. He never said swastika for the Nazi Germany symbol. He always called it Hakenkreuz. That's a German word. And plus, swastika itself is a Sanskrit term.
Wait a minute. So that Hitler didn't use that one, and he used another word.
Right.
And somebody wanted to use that situation to harm Hindus. Did you hear that?
Could be. So that's why there's a lot of speculation. Yeah, especially like a translation. My background is also linguistics. I have master in linguistics, so I just do the language study and a translation study also. So when the Hitler wrote the kind of his book for Mein Kampf or My Struggle or something, they translated, but the Mein Kampf itself is the main text, and then when they translate the most oldest translation, they use the words hooked cross for the swastika. I mean, sorry, for the Hakenkreuz. Originally he used the words Hakenkreuz. Or maybe I will share some of the text. Maybe just 1 second.
Yeah,
might be easier to see
chat box, so that way we can understand the
Yeah, that's probably better though. Oops, I made a mistake again, right? Yeah, I know. That's the, so this one, it should be, are you able to see the picture now? Oh, okay. These are symbols. But then the since we're talking about Hitler parts, I just wanted to, so for instance, this is from the Mein Kampf. And this is the entire, what do you call it? Not the entire, just one part of it, but it's a most important part of the talking about Hakenkreuz. This is a German language in the top.
Okay.
So I don't know how you pronounce. Does anybody speak German? Can you?
Yes, Hakenkreuz.
Can you read this or no?
Ja, im Hakenkreuz die Mission des Kampfes für den Sieg des arischen Menschen und zugleich mit ihm auch den Sieg des Gedankens der schaffenden Arbeit, die selbst ewig antisemitisch war, an antisemitische sein wird.
Thank you so much.
That's good. That's good,
Simran. This is the first time I ever really hear the German person pronounce this. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
And I don't really read German that often. I don't speak it so fluently, but my father was German.
Okay.
But the translation is given below.
Yeah,
this is the beauty of the interfaith,
But then most of the time, this part of the translation, Fucht cross, will be translated as a swastika. How can it be people translated swastika, right? That's also the big question that we always have. And then the Hitler, when he gives a speech, he speaks Germany, right? German. So that's why he always used the Hakenkreuz anywhere actually, because especially during the wartime, so he doesn't want to use the other country's language anyway. So he always do the swastika, never use the word swastika anywhere except translation. Only English translation use the words swastika, but then swastika itself is really like a Sanskrit terms which came to travel to like United States, like maybe 19th century or 20th century, the beginning part of the 20th century, I mean. So because this particular symbol, the swastika or the let me move up a little bit. But sorry, I was going to show some symbols like this one. So these symbols are introduced to the West in the especially the end of the 1890s or so. So at that time, there's the even the book was written about the swastika. So the Smithsonian, they pay the money to they have a funding to go through the different part of the swastika in the world. And of course, these are some of the Eastern swastika that I have in the picture. These are Jain symbol. Non-violence, and then the swastika together, and these are actually the Mohenjo-daro, the one in Pakistan, the ancient civilization. So they use this is a seal. They use as a seal, and of course Hindus main symbol this one too. And these are actually the one same as the Jain, right? Sorry, this is Japanese one. One of the temple for the same temple. This one, the in Tokyo, the Asakusa Sensoji. If you've been to Tokyo, I think everybody go there too. So it's a very popular place. But they have a lot of big swastika there too. And then there's a Hindu temple and Om together, and then the swastika here together. And,
TK?
Yes.
So the swastika is designed in different ways. Sometimes, let's say the left goes up, sometimes it goes down.
Yeah.
So,
right turn or left turn, like a thing.
Yes. Clockwise and anti-clockwise.
Yeah, clockwise and
anti-clockwise.
Yeah, that's a good word. Maybe.
So what is the reason for that? Like one can see in one of them, like the lower image, is different, where it's like a purse. It looks like a little like a purse, and then you can see it's different.
This one. Yeah.
So there it's a different size, different direction.
Right.
And of course the Nazis
is this type.
It.
And then also turning to the 45 degree.
Yeah. Can you talk about those differences?
Sure. Yeah. And then maybe you can tell, even like this picture, there's a difference between some of the right turn and then there's a left turn here, left turn or anti-clockwise. So anti-clockwise is actually become in Asia, especially in China, it became a language. I mean, it became a Chinese character, one of the Chinese character, actually. So that's why when this symbol go to the west, I mean, more towards the China, Korea, and those places, then this changed to the directions to here, simply because of when you write in the characters, it's probably easier to use this side, this instead of this way to write it. But especially if you're right-handed, maybe easier to write this way, the left side, left turn. I mean, anti-clockwise. But it became a standard Chinese, actually. So that's why after that, it became read as a man. It's not a manji. Ji is actually means character, but in Japan, it became one word. This one is called manji in Japanese nowadays. So but then you can see this is a Buddhist, the Afghanistan's, the statue, the Buddha's foot, So here is actually, you may not be see well, but then this is a left turn. I mean, the anti-clockwise. This is a clockwise. And then anti-clockwise. I don't know, somehow disappears. So there is a mixture with that things too. So in a Buddhist sense, I don't think there's much of the difference. Both, I mean, at least part of the explanation of the sutra, or Sasutra, like the commentaries, they just do not make any difference in a way that both represent light. And but then of course India, the Hindu, probably I believe they have some distinction between right turn, left turn. Right one is normally the sun, light of the sun, and then the left turn is the light of moon. So the daytime, light, and then evening time light. So both are light anyway. So, but I guess from that sense, for Buddhism, for the moon is full moon day is very important for like a Vesak and so forth. So maybe left turn is really maybe appropriate for the Buddhists. I don't know, but so like those. So these are Japan or China, and these are Japanese temples, Buddhist temples. And so it's different symbols of the different directions, but then Hitler really didn't mention about which way is supposed to be. But sorry, this is a totally different order that I just talking about now to prepare. I was going to talk different ways, but then since because of the batteries going out, so I just started to the different way. But so these are very interesting. In a way, this is a picture of galaxy, right? It's like a turning right way, like this one. So it's like that's a model, and then this become form of also swastika too from this way. Actually, so that in a way the swastika can really represent the universe, our galaxy. The galaxy is right here. That's a kind of interesting image that I always have for the swastika. But in even like they don't also talk about the sun as the swastika symbol, original symbol as a swastika. Oh, sorry. Yes.
I'd like to just say this is such an important thing to educate the world about, because the swastika is so ingrained as a hate symbol, and the bad guys of the world can certainly flip that when they go to see a a temple and see a swastika, it can cause great harm. And
because yeah, that's true. Because it's interesting in Japan, like, you know, when you go to the, you know, the, what do you call it, the graveyard, or, you know, all those places, we do have a lot of swastika there.
Yeah.
But not as the hate symbol. It's like a symbol of the peace, or symbol of the, you know, the more the kind of blessings type of way. So
you know, in the Sanskrit word swastika means the good health, from swastika.
Yes,
from the word swastika, that means good health.
Yeah.
We have Dr. S.K. Pandey from India. He may able to add something.
Who? Oh,
swastika is different. This is just beer. Swastika is a combination of two words. Swastika. Swa means self, and astik means the believer, the one who believes in God and himself, because the God is inside me too. So that belief of oneness of the
Hello, which tradition is that? Is that from
Sikkim? I'm talking about
Sikkim. Oh, is that right?
I'm calling Dr. S.K. Pandey.
Okay, please. I mute myself then. Thank you. I'll say later.
After that, you can give.
Yes.
Oh,
Dr. S.K. Pandey from India.
Oh, okay. Hello. Namaste. Thank you.
Namaste to all.
Maybe we can go out of the shared so we can see each other.
Oh, okay. Let me see.
Yes.
Okay.
Much better.
Yeah, that's probably easy.
Namaskaram to all of you. I did not give much thought to this symbolism. I was invited very late. But this much is certain that all the religions have their own symbols. All the religions, they have their own symbols.
Right.
And they have their own meanings also of those symbols. As a spiritual seeker, I have been mainly concerned with the oneness of God. That signifies the beauty and glory of all the religions. And that is the reason, that is the basis of our unity. All the religions pointing towards the same undifferentiated reality, the transcendental supreme being. That is the beauty and glory of all the religions. And that I consider as the basis of the unity. Unity amongst all the human beings. And unity of all the religions also. Because these symbols, they mainly belong to the rituals. We have so many rituals in all the religions. We have rituals. But I feel that we should focus on the spiritual, not the ritual. Focusing upon the spiritual part will lead us to our goal. But I don't have any objection. We always use swastika, and we use the symbol of Om. We use the symbol of various gods in temples. And we believe that those who are not very enlightened, those who are not very elevated, those who have not gone to the higher stages of spiritual insight, they worship God, they worship gods and goddesses, they worship various symbols also. They regard symbols as sacred. All the gods and goddesses as sacred. All the scriptures as sacred. But all these scriptures, all these symbols, all these gods and goddesses, they ultimately lead us towards the highest goal of life. That is the spiritual experience of one's own self.
Yeah.
So
right.
I have no objection to symbols, but I feel and I suggest that our focus should always be towards the end of, toward the goal of life, and that is spiritual enlightenment, spiritual experience, and that is the foundation of our unity, our interfaith unity, interfaith dialogue. because that connects us. The symbols may divide us, but the spiritual enlightenment can connect us. So that is what I want to add. And once again, I would like to say that I have no objection to any symbols. I respect, I worship, I pray to all symbols and pray to all of you. Thank you.
So you're from the which tradition? The Hindus or
Hindu?
Oh, Hindu. Okay.
Hindu yogic tradition.
I see.
In India, Hindus are different sects.
Right. Yeah.
In our neighborhood, we never worship Swastika. We just only worship Om. That's it. Other parts, they worship Swastika. It's a big thing for. So we have different tribes, different.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay.
And some people only focus on the way of expanding our consciousness. They won't think about any rituals. That is different. So ultimately, we have to go for the universal spirituality. Even Hinduism says the same thing.
Right. Same thing.
You read Veda, you don't see any Hindu politics there.
Because the same as the Buddhism, because some school of Buddhism a lot, but some school doesn't.
But swastika is used in our temples and all religious places. We use swastika and Om.
Interesting.
I just wanted to say, I mean, this is to me, I find, there is wisdom everywhere and we learn from everybody's wisdom. So here we're talking about symbols. So I feel that, the symbols are there to teach us something. So the swastika is teaching us something. Right. The Om symbol is teaching us something. The Khanda, the Adishakti teaches us something. And all these things are really spiritual. They're really enlightening. So it's like, it's a teaching. We're receiving that. And then I was just kind of curious because, so in our Kundalini practice, for instance, we can meditate on our symbol. So, you can focus on that Khanda symbol and meditate on it. Is there a meditation or can one just focus on one of the Buddhist symbols? Is there anything like that? I'm just curious.
Interesting. Yeah.
TK, no?
I want to add something.
Like two people want to add because those who spoke.
Okay, yeah. After that, I will be going to answer. Okay?
Yes. Those who spoke, just wait for the next moment. Jaspir was talking. He has to go first. Then he'll go Dr. Sujita.
Can TK answer to my question?
He can after them.
After I hear a couple of people, then I will just back to.
Jaspir Bhatia.
Yes, sir.
Please.
Good afternoon, everybody from USA, wherever you are.
Hello.
I was just reflecting on the word swastika itself. It's a combination of two words separately, just like in Sanskrit when we have combined two words. Swa means self. Swa, me, self. Astik means the one who is a believer. Astik versus Nastik. Nastik in Hindi means who don't believe in God. Astik are the one who believe in God. So in our philosophy, both original Vedic and Sikhism, we believe that God is within us. Eman tu jot srup hai apna mool pachan means in Guruvani, that's what it said. Eman, you are the manifestation of God Himself. Recognize your own source. So swastika from that point mean that I believe in God and I also believe that God is within me. So there's the word the literal meaning of the word swastika. The swa, self, and nastik means the believer. At the same time, the symbol of the galaxy you have projected, that's a very important symbol because that kind of resonates with the symbol swastika. From Guru Nanak philosophy, when we say Ik Omkar, Ik is Guru Nanak has symbolized God ultimate with one, letter one, or the numeral one. It doesn't mean the number one, but it is the absolute, which is the transcendental, which has been there before time.
Yeah.
We call it night timeless. Akal. Akal means which is not bound by the time dimension. So at some point, that Akal Murat, we call it, the absolute one, transformed itself or manifests itself into Omkar, Om or Omkar, same thing. Om is the cosmic reverberation or the cosmic sound, which we believe is the source of creation. And all these offshoots from that symbol of your cosmos. Please show that picture again of your
I'm happy
so-called galaxy. So-called galaxy. Yes.
But I have to share. Okay, is that okay?
Yeah. Please share the picture again.
All right, no problem for that.
Yes, beautiful. See here, it has got one core. It's not sun. It's just the one core. And when it starts expanding from Ik1 to the Om, and then the various formations of various galaxies, it is the origin of the whole universe, not just one galaxy. There are millions of galaxies and there are countless galaxies. And this is what Swastika also looks like. The top one is this one, that goes to the center and goes to the left. And likewise, when the center revolves and sounds in the clockwise, there are offshoots of all these various galaxies coming out of that. And that is how the creation started. And that's how it is explained in Guru Nanak's philosophy of Eko-Onkar, the Mool Mantra, so as we call Eko-Onkar Satnam. So that is the whole projection of Eko-Onkar and creation. That's how Guru Nanak explained us how the whole thing originated.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing. One more person you said? Somebody?
Dr. Sujita.
Yeah.
Namaskar, everybody. I come from India. Swastika is a symbol which tells you about the energy concentration. The universe has started with a Big Bang theory. All people believe. We believe that Kushmanda Devi created universe with her smile, and that the center point of the swastika is Kushmanda Devi's smile, and the other arms are like the energy centers. And when we make swastika, we don't worship it in a way in northern India, but we make that swastika to concentrate the positive energy from the environment, so that we can meditate, we can rise up spiritually and reach the Almighty. The upper consciousness, when we focus on the center of the swastika, we are focusing on all parts of the positive energy which is coming from the universe. And definitely, most of the time, swastika is drawn towards the clockwise, because we as Hindus believe that the anti-clockwise is something which is related to tantric, or something which is related to some other level of occult science. But the positive side of swastika is always towards the right side of it is clockwise, and it always symbolizes energy. It's we believe that it's not only about the symbol, it's about our own spiritual growth. And definitely in yoga also, we form a posture which is asana with like a swastika, and then we are concentrating on our Kundalini Shakti. And that's what I wanted to add, and most of the part you have added. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. So let me also just talk a little bit more, and then first of all, thank you for sharing. And then it is a lot of part for me. This is I really don't know until I start doing this. Actually, because strange thing is I'm not expert for anything before. Anyway, I just have to work on this one simply because. For me, this is the one thing came up, just a coincidence maybe, but maybe I'll tell you the story later, but before that, maybe I should answer some of the questions that, and in terms of the practice also, yeah, that's the, because swastika itself in Buddhism, we do have a sense of, maybe I will show you the pictures of the one that I share, but then in there's the picture like a Buddha's center here. So this itself is, in a way, representing the many different aspects of the Buddha, but then the part of this is a heart of the Buddha, right? In a way, it's just top of the chest. So it's like a heart of the Buddha. So sometimes we consider that's the kind of heart you wanted to go in. It's not just the symbol, the shape that you're looking for, but then it's like why the shape appear. That's more important than the shape itself. So the appearance of the shape itself is because of the nature of the sacred or noble. The one of the part of the teaching is a Four Noble Truths. So sometimes some teacher used to talk about this line as a Four Noble Truths. And plus there's another quick, the Fukt. So it becomes like a 8. So it's like a Four Noble Truths be arrived here as a part of the central part. So in a way, when you're looking at swastika for Buddhist heart, then it's a Buddha nature or Buddha's heart. So it's the kind of practicing itself of the Buddhism. So the symbolism in Buddhism is actually go beyond the symbol, meaning like you may start from the symbol, but yet you go beyond means no shapeless or formless or nameless is a real truth symbol. And then that's supposed to be the idea of the Dharmakaya, in a Buddhism sense, which is even supposed to be beyond the words, beyond the shape. Even like a shape of the Buddha should disappear and everything disappear. But yet, when it comes back to the symbol, that's also the symbol is become a compassion side of it. So in a way that we always say in Buddhism, we said the finger, symbol is considered a finger pointing at the moon. So without the finger, it's hard to see the moon, because we need sometimes the guidance to point it. So the symbol itself become the, kind of a window or the door. So through the symbol, you can come in, right? And then try to understand what the symbol means. And then once you come in, you don't need a symbol anymore. So it may disappear as a wisdom that you already created. But yet the wisdom is always coming back as a compassion. So the skillful means, I guess. So the symbol itself is considered as a skillful means. Even the words of the Buddha, or like we have a mantra, also like a Namo Amida Bu and all those words. So that become also the symbol. But then, so which means, is that nothing or is that everything? Or is that everything or maybe nothing? So like everything is nothing, nothing is everything, is like that kind of a way of the symbolism itself. So symbol itself is dynamic to become like a universe, but then it become like a small, like a symbol. Like a little swastika, the mark. So that's the kind of dynamic of the symbolism, I believe, for the, part of the practice. I hope I answer some of the questions. And then the way that I understand, and then the language itself, swastika, su, as normally we divide it, I think it's su plus asti, and then the ka, the three parts, the way that most of the dictionary divide. So I follow that one, but the su as a good or well-beings. And then the asti is a to be. So to be well-beings. And then the ka create the noun form. So that's why the swastika becomes the well-beings, being good, or being, so it becomes like, something, the state of good is so that become like the part of the nobleness that we're talking about. So non-violence, peace, and all those, the quality comes with this particular symbol. But so that's the one thing that you will see here. And then let me also just share a couple other things that I was thinking today, because I mentioned about, even myself, I didn't really study beforehand. So, this is by the way, this is my garden. And then this, so like from the on the top of it, it's like a shape of the universe too, shape of the galaxy. But that's the symbol that we have. So this is a little.
What is in the center?
This is a Buddha. This is a pagoda, the Buddhism. I mean, so I just
pagoda. Okay, yeah, pagoda.
Yeah, because this is actually when we moved to my house now. Used to have a pool there. There's a pool, so there's a big opening of the circle. So
that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
I started to create something, and then I don't know where this goes, but then you started to create something like this.
So that's so beautiful.
Yeah, thank you. That was a coincidence actually, but then when you become, oh yeah, I didn't have that particular picture. Sorry. No, I actually combined this one together with the universe picture. It becomes really like a matches pretty much. So I feel like a universe is right here in my park. I mean my house now. So anyway, so that's something that. But then the one thing is for Buddhist tradition, we make this is a Buddha, little Buddha. So this month is a Vesak month, which is Buddha's birthday, and then also celebrate enlightenment and then parinirvana. But then especially the Japanese tradition, we celebrate Buddha's birthday and kind of three things separately: birthday in the spring, and then the enlightenment for December, and parinirvana, passing away, in February. So, but then for the Buddha's birthday, we always make like this kind of the flower. These are all made by the flowers. We put all the flowers, nice flowers, and then create. This is shape, little Buddha. Create, and so this is what I make. And then after I came to the United States, 1985, I came actually. And then the first Vesak, or we call it Hana Matsuri, or Buddha's birthday anyway, celebration when I was in Seattle. Because when I grew up in Japan, I used to make this part. This is the making a swastika is my part actually, meaning I was one of the oldest among all the cousins. So when we have at the temple, we make all those flowers, arrange the flower shrine. Then in the end, everything is ready. Then very end, we put this swastika with the chrysanthemum. So that's actually what has been my job for like 10 years at least when I was in Japan. So it's but by the way, this picture itself is 1937. So which is in California. I mean, still before the war. Before the war. So and some of the children dress up very nicely to show the respect. And then so when I was in Seattle for the first year, actually I make this one. So then what happened is the membership, some of the members came to tell me, oh, you can't. I mean, they really rushed to come. And then as soon as they saw I was making the swastika with the flowers, and then they came, 35 years ago. So they just stopped me. Oh, you shouldn't do this. You can't do this. This is not Japan. This is the United States. In the United States, this symbol means hate or evil, especially connected to the Holocaust. So that's why we couldn't use it. We shouldn't use it. Like that. And then I felt after that, because some people still feel very painful by looking at this symbol. We don't want it to create any extra pain for other people, so then maybe we shouldn't do it. So actually I was sort of like that for like 20 years. I mean, like until 2009 maybe. So it's maybe 25 years maybe. Or like maybe for even Buddhists, we shouldn't use this one in this country because of that. But then at that time though, because Buddhism was still very new, because even like nobody knows, there's no Dalai Lama as famous at that time. There's no Dalai Lama. There's some Zen tradition, but even like when I need to buy the book, like a Buddhist book, I cannot get the Buddhist book in the regular bookstore. They don't have it. So I have to go to like East Asian or kind of a bookstore. Then you can find small amount of the Buddhist books. So not like, nowadays nobody knows about Buddhism anyway. So when the people come to the Buddhist temple, they thought they came to the Baptist temple, Baptist church. Buddhist and Baptist sounds a little bit similar. So, so even like when I say I'm a Buddhist, and then they said they considered, he's Baptist, he introduced me as a Baptist person or something. So like that. So, at that time, not many people know about Buddhism anyway. So that's why I felt that too. Maybe since people don't know any Buddhism, maybe I don't have to push it too much. But yet 2009, we had the Interfaith Center organized the Marshall Mayer retreat, which is like an overnight retreat, used to be. And so like different religious tradition leaders came, like maybe about 100 people gather, and then they stay overnight, and then they, have different things twice a year. And so then they deal with the different social issues, okay? And then so they discuss, and then they share the view from the different revision. And also there's an expert came to explain what's going on, like a police brutality or prison system and all those different things, education too maybe. But then one point is a hate crime. That was 2009. And then at that time, the speaker, one of the guest speaker, the expert of the hate crime, said swastika is a universal symbol of evil. And then when you say universal symbol of evil, it's a different word, right? I mean, if you added universal, that means everywhere you go, that's an evil symbol. And then, so I asked the question actually at that time. And then, so what do you mean by universal symbol of evil? Because Buddhists are here, Hindus are here, we use the swastika as a good symbol. Why you can say the universal symbol? And then this expert said, he didn't know, basically. So he didn't know anything about the good side of this symbol. So that's actually for me, the trigger. Oh, maybe this is not good, because even like after that, Hindu, Buddhist, and then Jains, and also the Native American leaders, we just get together, and this is not right. Although we don't want it to hurt other people, have the feeling, for a long time, but yet, I mean, this is, really hurting other people the other way because of the ignorance that they created. And they don't talk about the swastika as also the very parts of it's like a lot of people use it in the East. I mean, we're talking about globalization. So this is probably good, not time to, thinking of not telling the truth. Or providing the truth itself is the very important one. I think that in the end, the truth can be more powerful than anything else. And I believe, for the Buddhism also, rely on the Dharma. Dharma means, for me, it's a truth. So the universal truth, you can say. And so always bringing the truth part ahead so that you don't have to lies or anything like those. So the truth is more stronger than anything else that we feel. So I changed my mind. And then that happened to be next year, 2010. I went to the New York Theological Seminary to study interfaith. I never studied interfaith, by the way, for the study, like academical study. So some happened to be the interfaith center. The New York Theological Seminary had those classes called multi-faith study and the doctoral ministry program. So I went to the doctoral ministry program. And then at that time, because I can choose what I write on dissertation. So since that 2009, this happened. The interfaith centers things happen. So I decided to take maybe this New York Theological Seminary part as the way to bring my own understanding also about the swastika itself. And then I start researching it, and then find out a lot of things. And then one of the big questions that I was asked was that when I started doing this, everybody asked the question about the Hitra, because I was not interested to talk about it even, but because it's a very, very sensitive, the war itself. So so that's why I sort of like didn't like to go to the Hitler, but then at the same time, oh sorry. So this is actually the book that I wrote. So these are available if you like. It's but so I'm actually talking about this symbol from the Buddhist aspect because I'm the Buddhist priest, and also I was raised in a Buddhism. So hopefully we have a maybe right. Hindu swastika and then the Hitler's cross, so anything is fine, but I just need to start from where I'm standing. So that's why this book I wrote. But yet, so a lot of a Buddhist idea, but also this is an interfaith program too, right? So that's why I study for the other race, other religion to practice, use this symbol as a sacred symbol. Of course, this is in a Hitler. What I realized is Hitler used this symbol as a cross, Christian cross, basically, and then combined with to invite to Catholic and Protestant together under the symbol of the things too. But so Hakenkreuz, hooked cross. So that's why it's a cross. It's not swastika. It's really for his interpretation is very different. And then so going back to where I showed it before, sorry, it took me for a while to come back here. I started, but then yet it goes to so in a way this hooked cross is this is a particular language that he using, and then so because of the cross, there's an anti-Semitism come up. Because cross has been used in especially Western world. That's the part of the anti-Semitism for a long time, 2,000 years. So it's a kind of all the history is behind these particular symbols. And then this is especially this is a symbol, red, white, black. All color itself also has a meaning, as he said. So the Hitler has an association with certain meaning of it. And also he was looking for the symbol, flags they can die for. So their dedication for their countries and so forth, they are involved for those. But anyway, so those are, a lot of parts connected to how this symbol was chose. And so it's very, but in one way, this is an area that I personally didn't want to go into, but yet American people always ask the questions. Which question is then why the Hitler used this swastika symbol? That has been always a question that I received. So, for the dissertation wise, I have to, study this one. Otherwise, my, question never be answered. The people's, especially Western people's question never answer about the swastika. So that's why I have to really go into also the swastika of the Hitler. Then of course, so in the end, what I found out was although the Hakenkreuz was translated as a swastika, but it's actually Hitler never used a swastika actually in his vocabulary. The speeches and everything that he wrote never come up to the swastika, but then the Hakenkreuz is always there. So his symbol is not really the swastika; it's a Hakenkreuz. It's a cross, and then so that's why. But then the interesting part is a mixture of the Aryan. Aryan is the same Aryan of the Hindu, the Indian words too, but it became like a white supremacy type of Aryan. So these two are all connected. But then Aryan means also, that's a Buddhist term in one way too for us, because the Buddhist is always called Arya Sangha. So Arya is the Four Noble Truths, is Arya Satya. So this word Arya is deeply connected to the Buddhism too. So both Arya and swastika is a kind of important issue for the Buddhists. So that's why I decided to write this. And then, but then also there's many other parts associated with Arya part. We don't talk about it. Sorry, you're raising your hands. I'm sorry, I didn't recognize. Vasu, do you have?
TK, can you finish the presentation? That way I can.
Oh, okay. Sure.
On the screen.
Okay. So anyway, what did happen to that? Oh, so okay. So the basically maybe this is okay. And I just wanted to mention that in the end, this is an educational part that I was looking for. And then this is a maybe colored version of the swastika or manji on the top of this is a little Buddha, right? This is more like easier to see. But then that's the kind of idea. The flower shrine was used like this way. And very lastly, I just wanted to, where did it go? Oh, sorry. So all I wanted to do this time is actually, if you can go to the website, and so this is the Manji Film for the what do you call it? This is in Japanese. I was going to put it in the English, but I think I misphrased somehow. So, but this is the same number. The Seed and Park. If you go to the seedandpark.com. and then /fund/manji. So if you click it, it goes like this.
Oh. Go to the fundraising page.
Yeah, fundraise page. So yeah, you can go there, and then that's the film that you saw will be there too, and you can watch that again if you are interested in. But basically, what we're saying is here is this is about the things that you heard interview. So, but the deadline for this is only 30 days. So we need to raise the money so that we can create the movie. But it's already done like 90%. But then the film work is not only just making the film, but it so has to go to the added to the music, added to the what do you call it? Go to the other places to show and everything. So it's all connected to all different parts of the things that we need to be thinking of. So the film part is done. So you saw the film, right? Many parts of the film, the interviews, everything. So it's ready to go. So I'm sure this is a good timing in one way, because the last time at the New York State, there's a bill about the S2727. They talk about the education. They try to teach the education of hate symbol, but then clearly it says two symbols they wanted to teach. One is a swastika, and the other one as the noose, as a hate symbol. So which means all the Hindu students or all the Buddhist students and the Jain students, they have to learn. I mean, they will be forced to learn in a way the correct understanding of swastika is a hate symbol. But it shouldn't be, and but then that bill itself is the after conversation that we have. So they sort of withdraw, but yet one thing we really wanted to have is probably passing the bill, because the hate crime itself is also it's not good thing. So its idea itself is fine, but yet teaching the wrong information is not really helpful at all. So that's why we wanted to change the wording, but yet they just drop it. So which means we need more educational part, more to understand. So I'm sure that there's, this film has been, they work very hard. Those two guys that I mentioned, Adam and also Yosuke. So hope, and then as I said, they're 30s, and then this is a good, especially like older people may not be able to change so quickly, but yet young people have all the rights to know what is really the meaning of the swastika in the East. And then the plus, as I say, global parts is also the part of our culture now. So providing the right information of and then also having a dialogue itself is a very, very important one. And I'm hoping the many Hindu community, or even like anybody, it doesn't have to be a big amount, because we try to make it minimum as much, because the coronavirus and everything, so people are suffering also. So it's timing is a little bit difficult, but yet I think it's very important to have a dialogue start somewhere. And then since the bill was already passed, sent once, so which means we may have a more possibility to bring another bill like this. So that's why I feel it's time to begin. And so the deadline for this is May 31st, or actually June 1st, but that's only very limited time. So any of amount you appreciate it very much. And so if you can go to the site again to see this site.
Simran already wrote on the chat box, so you can see.
Chat box. Oh, okay, great. Thank you so much.
Is that the movie they interviewed me?
Yes. Yeah, there's a part of the. Yeah, you saw the picture of you.
Yeah, I saw one part. I saw it.
Yeah. Right now, maybe we can show the page of the Guruji is in about part of the fundraise pictures. So maybe I should show you.
I remember they interviewed me in the church.
So
that's the one they're going to put it.
Oh yeah. And then the
TK.
Yes.
Wasn't it Buddha Day like last week? I think.
We did no, actual day is 25th.
25th.
Or 26th. This year.
Of this year? Of this month?
This month.
Yeah, this month.
Oh, I thought it was already last week. Does it change every year?
Well, for the Buddhist Council, we do like sometimes in May, because so many Buddhists do celebrate. For the Buddhist Council, we just do whenever the time in May. So, but then most of the like a UN Vesak is normally exact day. So UN Vesak is May 25th. I thought they would be 26th, but I think they changed to somehow the 25th. And then so many countries do that 26th as a main day of Vesak. And so, so they're still coming up. So it will be UN Vesak should be on air anyway. So the people to be able to come.
In India, Vesak is 13th or 14th of April.
Oh,
that's what Vaisakhi festival is. That's when Guru Govind Singh initiated Sikhs into Khalsa on Vaisakhi day. That's very auspicious for Sikhs also.
Oh, Sikhs also. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. So let me see whether so Vesak is still coming up, and actually I'm putting together for the Vesak things that I need to. Oh, that's great. So now it's 53%. So that's very nice news. Thank you. So somebody maybe the supporting for our events here. But the things that I wanted to show is maybe I can share again to the place that the Guruji show up for the flyers or page that we have. So I wanted to show that to the people. Let's see. Let me share again to the share screen, right? And this one.
If I want to add something, I want to add something.
Yes,
Dr. Inderjeet Singh. Vasu.
I can't hear you. Could you say it again? Vasu, yes. Dr. Vasu?
I just, first of all, I thank for the informative lectures. I have some symbol, that is Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib, 9th Guru. He says, this word is like a hill of smoke. ए जग धुएं का पहाड़ तै साचिया मान्या के विचार. The symbol is smoke, hill of smoke. The word is not real. That is why Guru has chosen the symbol of smoke. This word is like a hill of smoke. What makes you think that it is a real? Then there is another symbol. Who whatsoever is seen shall all pass away like the shadow of cloud. Like a shadow of the cloud. Symbol is shadow of the cloud. And Guru says, there is one more symbol, sir. As the bubble in the water develop and disappear again, so is the universe created. Says Nanak, listen, oh my friend, this is the universal, is like a bubble. Bubble come and bubble go. This is the unreal world. And there is a, what is the method of living in this world? Guru Nanak explains, Just like the lotus flower floats untouched upon the surface of the water, and the duck swims through the stream. With one's consciousness focused on the world of the Shabad, one crosses over the terrifying world ocean. O Nanak, chant the name and the name of the Lord. So we must live in this world like a lotus flower that is in the water, but never wet again. So this is the way we can cross the ocean. And one more I want to symbol, that is from the animal world. Guru Tegh Bahadur says that person who does not feel devotion to God in the mind, O Nanak, know that his body is like that of a pig or a dog. If there's not a devotion in the mind, and if mind is undevotional, then mind is without any discipline, and the body of that person will be just like pig or a dog. Pig eats somewhere in the filthy things, and dog is wandering here and there. If the man does not love God, does not devoted himself to the God, then his mind will be wandering like a dog. So these are the symbols Guru chose from the world around, and Guru explained his meaning to the world that he should live a meaningful life. So this is the symbolism created, chosen by the Gurus. That is that is enough for answer.
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, for sharing. The symbol itself, especially the swastika symbols, also are very, very important from that aspect as well. And then I just wanted to. Yeah, thank you. And I just wanted to show the Guruji here. See, have you ever seen this person before? I hope.
Oh, that's one. Okay, I got it.
Yeah. So I mean, there's a different parts of it because you're part of the dialogue. I mean, the panel too. So, but then of course, what we are doing is right now is making to the short film. So I don't know how many. There are many. Originally, we wanted to have a little bit longer one, but then to begin with, we wanted to do the shorter one because of the corona and everything is a limited amount. So, but then the 20 minutes, but then to be able to do a lot of things. So this is actually the page that you can go after, Speed and Sparks, the page for the Manji. And so that's the story. So you have all the accounts, and then maybe if you can share with other people, that would be great, because this is a minimum amount that we're asking. So basically, if more the project, I mean, originally we really need is 60,000, but then it's just that's almost impossible they can do. So that's why we want to make it to the smaller size. But they're talking to me, and so.
TK, maybe we had to make a flyer for this, then put it on social media, so that way whoever help.
Okay. Yeah, that's true. It is so at least 50 people follows and 40. Now it's like a half. This morning was only 30 something too. So. Okay. So it's nice. And so there's a mission here. And also, if you donate like $15 and shout out, and there's different things that you can get too. So if you like, the digital copies of social media out. And then also, I was supposed to give you the prayer if you give the $50 and later, I'm going to send it. And if all the monies are there. And then also the kind of special thanks for on the film, there will be your names and so forth is appear also. And then if you have 150 or more, then so I supposed to write, also give the calligraphy for so I'm also do the calligraphy many parts too. So that's the things. And so there's the screening and so forth we have, and then all those different
See, that $1,000 is closer to my picture.
Yeah, I know. So you must be a son worse than the most expensive part of the Guruji's here. So Guruji is looking at this particular amount.
People think I'm making millions of dollars, you know?
Oh yeah. By the end of the time, and then so we can make a couple other swastika film. I mean, shorter version and longer version. So it's a lot of interesting. Well, I'm sure that so there's a Japanese explanation too. If you want to, I mean, if you speak some Japanese people, they have a direction to hear. And this is a book, and then so this the camera. He's also director, as I said, and then the Kinameko. So anyway, so that's the page that you have, and then and if you don't mind, if you can afford, you can at least share, other friends who can possibly help us. And so I think and then also it's a good way to have knowing people that we're doing this kind of project, and then understanding the meaning of the Manji self. This is a one, over 1,000 years symbol. I mean, it's it's almost impossible to find, lasting that long and still really moving for any other countries. So this is one of these, I mean, really one of the symbol that everybody has to know, actually, and then should be respected from the all humanity, actually. And then even like I didn't mention, but for the the ancient synagogue, they have a symbol of the swastika too, but not, so that's a good symbol. And then there's the Hindu tradition, I mean the Jewish tradition also, they used to use this symbol as a part of the good symbol, because it's together with the important symbol in the Jewish tradition. So, anyway.
Yeah.
Thank you, Guruji. Yeah.
Definitely, TK, I'll definitely share this with the interfaith community in California, Los Angeles, Southern California. I used to be involved, so I will definitely share the information.
Yeah,
and this was really instructive. I really enjoy this talk, and it's great. Thank you.
Thank you. Very nice meeting you.
Yes, thank you so much, sir. It's very, very, very interesting, actually. I was able to get more insight into the whole thing. I never understood, and how you related that to the creation, that picture of the universe. That was very interesting. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you.
So those who didn't speak today, just take 1 minute each.
It's good, Guruji. First of all, namaste, everybody.
Peter, thank you so much.
Thank you, TK. Eid Mubarak for all our brothers and sisters who are Muslim. And I wanted to commend you on re-energizing the conversation around the swastika. The whole notion of a symbol has always been close to my heart. And I think largely because we're visual creatures, and there's information that gets communicated in visual means in a way that we take in and process a little differently. So that's an important thing, to reclaim some of the history around the swastika and to understand the meaning of the swastika. I also want to kind of point out that I was looking forward to this because from a symbol point of view, Peace Lights was created and kind of has been being adopted as a symbol of peace. And there is symbolism as well there. If you look in the gallery view, you see the lights kind of flowing, and those colors are representative and symbolic as well of cultures around the world, with the motion being symbolic of the way that they interact and work together to achieve harmony and peace and good energy. And we have another, you talked about how logos were symbolic as well. And so we've taken the symbol of Peace Lights and put it in Africa for the symbol for Project Peace Lights to promote peace education. I heard one of the sisters from India talk about the energy in the symbol. And that's something that I agree it has, and certainly the swastika has the ability to bring forward both all sorts of energies because of the way in which it was used, right? The information that has been promoted for thousands of years has been around peace and togetherness for the swastika, but there was a very loud voice that kind of used the same symbol to communicate something different for a while. And that's still lingering. So, Peace Lights has also been spoken to and spoken about in terms of energy. And what we've done is kind of invited people to project their own energy related to peace into the lights, so that it has this collective energy now. So anyway, I wanted to thank you. Really looking forward to this session, and really enjoyed it. Namaste, everybody.
Namaste, thank you.
Kulvinder Singh.
What?
Guruji, what you said?
Kulvinder Singh.
Kulvinder Singh. Okay, somebody.
Oh.
Kulvinder, you're on mute. Kulvinder Singh, you're on mute.
Mute?
It's mute.
Unmute yourself then.
Yeah.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, yes.
Yes. About the symbols, I was just thinking it was very nice to hear all people. So just as every country has a flag, or every company has a logo, same way I think the religions, they have created a symbol. So to me, why especially a symbol? So whenever we say just one word to convey the meaning. So symbol is one word to convey the meaning. Secondly, there are two types of disciples. One is the literate, others are the illiterate. Literate people, they can go through the religious books and take the message. But the illiterate, they can't read all those texts. Right? For them, this symbol is everything. As in Guru Granth Sahib, there is one Shabad from a Saidivar. He says, Padya hove gunagar ta ommi sadhana mari. He says one of the disciples may be very literate, he may be well read, but does not matter at all. What matters, on the other side, there is one just Ommi Sad who just knows to recite Om. He knows nothing else. But Guru says, Gurbani says that Ommi Sad is much better than a qualified person who doesn't have character. So I think the symbol is just a point to concentrate. We need something to concentrate upon whenever we meditate. So the symbol helps us in dissociating from the world. Whatsoever symbol, it may be anyone. It is the literacy which gives meaning. Everyone can give different meaning to any symbol according to his level. But actually a symbol is a point just for one to concentrate upon something which is visible. Secondly, maybe in the older times, there were notebooks. We didn't have paper. We didn't have pen. So it was the only easiest thing to create so that anyone could get it and everyone could concentrate upon it. That's what I think. That's all.
Agal Murad Kaur from Argentina.
Namaste for everyone. As I am from Argentina, South America, and I was listening. It's the first time that I take place in English, Interfaith Dialogue. And thank you very much for having this opportunity to share with you all this afternoon. So I was hearing all the speakers, and thank you, Dr. Nakagaki. It was very, very useful from the information that I used to know here, that now you broadened my mind with so much information, and it was so great to hear from you today and from all the speakers. And I'd like to say that, as Kulvinder Singh was saying, that every religion, every tradition has a symbol, but I think that we should take the best part of it and incorporate and to make it spread in our tradition, in our religion, through our point of view. And in the Western world here, it's sometimes there's a swastika symbol has a very negative issue. So it's thing that we should work on it and to bring peace and to share more information about this, because it has a negative side. Immediately here in the Western world, especially in South America, if you see this, they refer to Hitler. not the meaning, not what does it means generally, usually here. I mean the real meaning of it. So I think we should work hard on it and to show the peace and to show energy as Sujita Vatsal was teaching us today. That is my thing. We should take every concept that you know, every teaching, and we should incorporate and make it one together and apply in our field. This is my point of view.
This Sunday we have a satsang, Argentina time 3 p.m. New York time 2 p.m.
Yes, it's almost 3 p.m. here. Yes,
okay.
20 minutes.
So we have a satsang that will be in Spanish. Okay.
Okay.
And I want to invite Reverend Susan now. Unmute yourself.
Yeah.
Unmute.
Yes.
Yeah. Now we can.
Wonderful as usual, Dr. Reverend TK. You know, it's always amazing to me how mankind can take something that was about peace and love for 1,000 years and hijack it into hate and evil. And you're right, here in the West, and as she just said, I mean, for example, as an interfaith minister, right, we have stoles with all the spiritual symbols on it. But it's sadly, I could not put a swastika on my stole because everybody would look at me and say, "Oh my God!"
Yes, they immediately say, "Hi Hitler."
Hi Hitler! What are you doing? How dare you? And particularly everybody, but Jewish people, forget it. Would it would cause pain. It would cause pain. So you have a tall order in front of you, but the greatest opportunity is when we can transmute something, right? From hurt and evil to goodness and love. So what you're doing is trying to transform the symbol back to what it was stood for to begin with. And I think you're right. Your hope is with young people, more so than older people, because once they have the information, knowledge is power. Right? Knowledge is power. But and not just the symbol, I've often said you can take anything and use it for good or evil, right? Think about it. Not just symbols, your hands. You could create a beautiful work of art, right? You can write poetry. With your hands, you could choke someone to death.
Yes.
You could take anything, right? Anything. So it's not the symbol, it's the intention. It's the intention. Right. So you're turning the intention into to love, to peace through knowledge. And, it's important. It's good. It's good.
This philosophical of this is so uplifting, so great. Hard to believe people don't understand this.
Yeah.
Yes.
And by the way, you taught me something. That I didn't know, that Sikhs chose the day of Buddha to initiate people into Khalsa.
Yes.
Was that done purposely on that day?
No.
Or is it coincidence?
It may be it's coincidence. Vaisakh is very important in the culture of Punjab anyway. In fact, the culture of India. Vaisakh is very important,
Yeah, I thought it was an interfaith purposely done that day. So I was wrong. Sorry.
No.
Coincidence.
It may be possible. I do not know. Please tell me.
Yeah. It's an amazing coincidence though, right?
Yes. Amazing coincidence.
Yeah, Reverend Susanna, it's interesting that what you were saying. I just recently posted something kind of what you were saying. I was saying, be aware of intentions. Yeah. What seems good or positive can be misused and turned against oneself or others.
Absolutely. And it's wonderful you say that, because, and I'm going to say something that some people are going to look at me and say, not possible. Even love, and love in its purest form, of course, can never be abused. But people take love and twist it, suffocate, manipulate in the name of love. So what is that? Again, the intention, right? Is not pure. It's not selfless. Not egoless.
Yes, love is the most misunderstood word. Love is purest form is means sacrifice. You can sacrifice for your love. Yes. Anyway.
I have 2 more people to finish it, and 2 o'clock I have another meeting.
Okay.
Martinez.
Gabriel, I guess.
Gabriel.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak. I appreciate the time. First off, I want to say well said, Susanna. The emphasis is on form, obviously, when we're focused on symbols. And I like that very much that you said, TK, that when a person gets to a certain stage, they no longer need the form to be able to reach the ultimate, the absolute. But for the meanwhile, it can serve a purpose. And because of that, all the malignancy of thought and all the dirt that has been put has led to misteachings. And regardless of how anyone feels about form or formless as ways to the spiritual path, ultimately, if there's misteachings going on in the world, that should be cleared up and that should be brought to light in the proper perspective. So the work that you're doing, TK, is absolutely crucial based on that. I believe also a couple of people spoke so well today. Interjit, Jasbir, Dr. Pandi, Dr. Vatsal, you all brought up excellent points. And to emphasize some of what's brought up on those points that inspired me, my understanding, the swastika does not belong to any particular nation, culture, religion, anything. This probably was from a time period when people didn't need to utilize words so much. They can vibrate, they can communicate on higher levels, and the symbols spoke higher truths to such a high degree where it was not necessary to use words, and so many truths can be conveyed within one small symbol, within one small amount, so it's not necessary. So forgive me, I was just getting a phone call, so that it's not necessary to eliminate all the truths by just going into one particular, but to include all the truths within one symbol. And since we identify and we live in a world of form, it's beneficial.
Yeah,
it's beneficial for us to be able to utilize form for growth rather than to just stay with superficial identifications of form and gross, to stay in the gross plane, the gross physical plane, rather to use.
Oops.
Somebody's calling here.
Yes,
Yeah.
rather than Vitali's calling. just rather than to use the gross physical plane for expressing something that is not of spiritual direction and spiritual benefit, rather to use the form and the gross words to indicate and direct us back. I believe it was mentioned a couple of times that these are indicators, but we don't need to become addicted or hold on to the indicators, use them like drugs and form attachments to them. The ultimate goal is to be able to go beyond it and to let it go. That it doesn't belong to any particular culture or nation, but it's a universal symbol and representation of many principles within one unifying whole principle. And the one unifying whole principle, I believe it was Interjit and Jasbinder and also Dr. Pandi indicated this, that this is supposed to be indicated for the whole purpose and not just for the individual sections and components, but rather the ultimate goal is to bring it all together where it is in essence an absolute and one unifying principle. And that it's been found throughout the world in Mesoamerica, in Celtic cultures, Norse mythology, all around the world. This isn't many times spoken about, but the artifacts are bearing all the different directions of the symbols in masonry, in stone cuttings, in slabs of all around the world. So this is a symbol of something that was beyond any particular religion, nation, and we should bring that back to the emphasis of going beyond the religion, back to this unifying principle. But thank you so much for the work you're doing, TK. It's absolutely crucial.